Good morning, everybody. Glad to have you here today. Thank you for joining me. If you want to follow along, we're going to be back in the second chapter of the book of Colossians. And if you will, in the meantime, like, share, comment on the post, and then we will take a look at these words of Paul. Notice what he says here, beginning in verse 8. See to it that no one takes you captive by philosophy and empty deceit, according to human tradition, according to the elemental spirits of the world, and not according to Christ. For in him the whole fullness of deity dwells bodily, and you have been filled in him, who is the head of all rule and authority. It's an interesting phrase that he uses when he tells us not to be taken captive by philosophy or empty deceit, human tradition, but instead we are to be captive to Christ. Why? Because the entire nature, the fullness of God dwells in Christ. And so we have to be, one of the several things stands out to me about that statement. The fact that he says don't be taken captive reminds me that we are in a matter, in a time of spiritual warfare, and that this world wants to see us taken captive, want to capture us. And when I think about that, and I may not be perfect here in understanding this passage, but I think about and I'm not trying to throw young people under the bus here, but I want to use them as an example. If you've ever seen young teenagers when they are playing their video games, they will get so caught up. We use that word, caught up. In that game that sometimes it seems like the house could be on fire around them and they wouldn't even notice. That game seems to have just kind of taken them captive, as Paul says here. Well, if you've seen that, you know what I'm talking about. Well, it seems like as adults sometimes that we get caught captive by philosophy and empty deceit. The things of this world just catch our attention, and we have, you'll see people, for example. I think of a lot of different ways that shows itself. I've seen men who were very actively involved in church with their family, and they'll take up a hobby, maybe golf or boating or something, and that hobby just kind of takes them captive. Next thing you know, they're out of church. They're not performing the duties that they one time did. One of the big issues in the world today, a lot of times, is the children get involved in sports or other activities, and the whole family just gets so caught up in it. And next thing you know, they're out of church. They're no longer serving the Lord, and there's so many things that want to capture us, and most of them are not bad. There are those who get caught up in their work. There are those who get caught up in many things, and there's nothing wrong with work. There's nothing wrong with sports. There's nothing wrong with going fishing or playing golf. But when it captures us, that's the problem. That's the issue that we have to be aware of, that we don't let anything rise above our relationship with God. Because we, as he says here, we've been filled with him, and he is the rule and authority in our life. And anything that is beginning to creep in and take too much of our time, take too much of our attention, and taking it away from the things of God. Sometimes those things take away from our family, and we know that the Bible teaches us that family should be first. Don't let anyone, he says, take you captive, whether it's by philosophy or empty deceit, human tradition. But we put our confidence, we're to be captured by the Lord. Wouldn't it be great if believers were as caught up in the Lord and the things of God as they are their hobbies and habits and those kinds of things? What a difference that would make in our church and in our world today. Think about it. Have a good day. We'll see you here tomorrow morning.